In 1974, a book was released by Alfred A. Knopf Publishers, New York. The poetry, prose, and illustrations within resonated in the progressive political atmosphere of the time. The path of the author, a convicted murderer who spent 8 years on death row and an additional 30 years in the general prison population, went from street thug to death row inmate to free man. Now, at 70 years old, Thomas Trantino was a college student. During an interview at his home in Camden, New Jersey, Trantino recounted that path, starting with his rough and tumble days in the seediest parts of New York City and northern New Jersey.
I was in my thug phase and, a jerk, drugs and beating people up, cops up, whatever, protecting your turf, the usual insanity.
Tommy said on day one in the death house, he underwent a profound personal transformation.
Without exception, every single person in there regretted his life. It's like your bullshit starts to drop away. I forswore violence and drugs my first day in the death house. I just made a vow to God, which I've kept to this day. So, I want to do something here. Like, I feel compelled to try to help.
From his cell, Tommy began to organize his fellow death row inmates, lobbying to improve their collective living situation.
So, I'm saying here, look, man, everybody in here is suffering. If people don't get together, it's always been like this, and it's always going to be like that. But using violence ain't going to do it. So, I'm actually talking to people whose only way of life is violence. But my life was like that before. But they got it. And then there were Muslim brothers in there. Everything used to be pork on the main meal. These guys were starving to death, and they were really sincere guys, So I spoke out one time, and I said, listen, why doesn't everybody just give you potatoes or something to them and get there hard, man,
Tommy organized for drug rehabilitation programs, treatment for behavioral disorders, and more humane interaction with the guards. His actions caught the attention of the prison administration, which responded with periodic stints in solitary confinement.
They wanted to break me. That was the idea, to break me. And sometimes even the cop would, forget my meal, in quotes, But that's where a lot of my art comes from. In the solitary of solitary, there was nothing. Sensory deprivation, basically, But I would see, cracks on the wall, and then start seeing images and stuff, and that interested my mind. And then I would create in my own mind images, things that were, in quotes, real. The death house was my laboratory of life, and I didn't believe I was going to be executed. I just believed I would get out.